Well, as you know, Magnus Carlsen is one of the greatest chess players of all time. He plays many sorts of openings. He plays e4, d4. He plays knight f3. He plays London. He plays also some very weird lines like sodium attack with knight a3. But in recent years, Magnus has been playing a lot of h4 and a4. But this isn't a recent phenomenon. Magnus Carlsen, in this game, played against Timur Radjabov, a very great Azerbaijani grandmaster, in 2012 in the Blitz World Blitz Championship. This game was played in Astana, Kazakhstan, and Magnus played one of those weird openings, and he still won. So let's review that game. Magnus has the white, and Timur has the black. Let's begin. So a4 played by Magnus Carlsen. So a4 is known as the rare opening. So this kind of opening is very difficult to solve, because what can be the purpose of playing this move? So one of the purposes can be to disallow the bishop to ever coming from on this square, developing on that square, and also it can be very useful if you want to put the bishop here yourself, because it can be very good to also protect the pawn and also have the bishop developed. But it's obviously very dubious opening. No one wants to play a4 on the first move, giving up the center. Now Radjabov plays e5, which is the best move. e4 played by Magnus, and knight f6, knight c3, and knight c6. So we have to consider that this game is a blitz game, and this game isn't like some 98% classical or 5-hour chess. This game was a very normal game, but Magnus still played very well. And also Timur had played this in 87.3 accuracy, and Magnus almost played it in 95% accuracy. Magnus was 94.0. So you have to consider there will be the best moves will not be played all the time. So let's see. Knight f3, and now bishop to b4. After bishop goes to b5, we castle as black, and now Magnus castles. So castling is the great move because it keeps the game going. If you play another move, it can result in black gaining some favors. Like another option here is to just take the knight and remove the knight from the square, and also it seems a good move because you get this position where you have some sort of advantage, but it doesn't really help. You can play another idea is to play knight a2. Knight a2 is also an idea here. Like this move can be very resourceful, attacking the bishop, but Magnus plays the only move that keeps the game going, which is castles. Castles is great move. d6, d3, which is an inaccuracy by Magnus, but it doesn't really affect the game. Bishop g4, knight e2, and after a6, Magnus takes the knight here, which is the best move. He takes c6, and now knight goes to g3, another best move. Knight h5, h3, knight takes g3, f takes g3, bishop d7, and now we get g4. So g4 is a very nice move because the bishop can no longer have access and the freedom that it had previously. It kind of restricted here, and it doesn't really serve a purpose. Even though white's bishop isn't developed, it has a long scope, even though it's looking at nothing at the moment. Bishop to c5 check, and now king goes to h1. Now queen goes to e7, and after a few moves we get into this position where Magnus tries to apply pressure on the king side, and also trying to minimize the damage by using this bishop to trade the bishops and get some sort of breathing room for his pieces and try to attack his opponent. We get bishop h6, which is a very nice move, attacking the rook and developing the bishop. After bishop goes in rook on b1 square, now rook f7 square, rook b1 played by Magnus. Bishop b6, and now we see bishop b3, pawn to b3. b3 is inaccuracy. I think the best move in this position was rook f3. Rook f3 was a good move because it keeps this square intact, and also you get many sort of doubling up ideas in attacking the king. Okay, but it's very hard to find in a blitz game. We get b3, and now we get d5. d5 is a very good move. Try to untangle yourself with these pawns and trying to break through the center. Knight f3, rook e8, queen g3, and now bishop to c5. Bishop to c5 is inaccuracy from Radjabov because after rook be1, white has significant advantage here. Magnus finds that move. That advantage keeps going in the game because the Magnus is very active. He got this very iconic pawn structure, flying bird, I think it's called. It is very good because look at this white bishop. White bishop is very restricted, and Magnus tries to keep all of his pawns on the light squares, which doesn't give this bishop anything to work on. Even though he's Balajabo's black square bishop is very good. Also, Magnus's black square bishop is also very good. D takes c4, d takes c4, bishop to d6, and now we get rook e2. Now rook e2 is a mischance because in this position, rook d1 almost, knight d2 and rook d1 also ends the game because knight d2 is a very interesting move. Knight 2. D2 is very hard to find, obviously. We're trying to go here, but it's very hard when you're in a blitz game. So this seems a very interesting and very normal approach. And after c5, knight goes to d2 right now, and after bishop to e6, Magnus finds the brilliant and very good move, which is queen d3. I call this move brilliant because it doesn't seem like a normal move. It is also like out of touch in a blitz game. You don't want to put this queen here. I think I wouldn't have found this move if we were ever playing with white here, but very good move. g5, queen takes a6, and now king h8. After knight comes to c4, pawn take, bishop takes on c4, and now queen takes. Rook comes to g8, and after h4, which is amazing move, h4 sacrificing the pawn to open up the line for the bishop and also giving breaking up sort of these pawns that are keeping the king safe. G takes h4, and now Magnus has a major advantage here. It isn't even a Dajibov doesn't even a slim of a chance. Magnus just goes for all-out attack, which is g5. g5 is a nice move. You can't take it. You can't take with the pawn because you're gonna get destroyed after rook takes f7, taking your rook. And wherever you move, there is rook ef2 doubling up, and you're gonna lose this game. Okay, so we can't take this. So Rajabov plays the best move, the second best move, sorry, which is rook g6. And after rook comes to f2, rook ef2 ends the game on move 32. Timur Rajabov resigns here because no matter what you do, you're gonna lose this game. So let's say the best move is queen d7 actually in this position. Let's play queen d7. Now this pawn hangs, and just you're gonna lose because no matter what you do, if rook takes here, you play this, and the sorry, I think this is losing, right? Yeah, rook has to take, and after we take here, the pawn takes works, and now we lose. So no matter what happens here, the game is lost. So after rook ef2 on move 32, game ends. Very nice game between these two players. And very nice Magnus Carlsen line this a4, which started all of this opening. And this is the great Magnus Carlsen's play with the rare opening, which is very rare. Still, Magnus Carlsen, even at this opening, he's very prepared. He's a very good opening player, and he's one of the greatest chess players of all time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my analysis and review of this game. Goodbye.